Is there anything at all that I could say that this woman would not change the meaning of the words to make something it's not? If I am saying that I'm for equality, I am. I think that women should be beaten as often as they beat men. I want all of you women to stop and think about how many times you've hit your husband. How many times have you hit your husband without any physical response from your husband? Now I want you to imagine that every time you did that, if instead of taking it like a man, that's what men are here for you to abuse. That's what we fucking exist for. You want to physically abuse us, we need to take it like a man. You want to steal the money out of our wallets, we need to take it like a man. You're spending all of our money, we need to take it like a man. Right? Yeah. Or, how dare you speak up about the abuse that you're enduring? You're white. These people want to complain about the threats and harassment against them, but guess what? None of y'all bother to take a look at the shit that I have to go through every fucking day. Does this woman have people screaming the N-word at her every day? She have people that try to run her over with their car? Huh? Does she have police officers? Well, I don't care if she talks to police officers at this point, do I? Do police lives matter? No, they don't. They absolutely fucking don't. There isn't a single police officer alive today that I believe should actually be wearing the fucking badge. I think that most of them should be taking dirt naps. But I'm not out there killing them, am I? No, I'm not. Are they killing my people? Yes. They are killing my people far more than hers. Who are the police more likely to kill? A disabled person or a black person? You are still twice as likely as a disabled person. You are twice as likely to get killed by a police officer as a black person. Same population size. Yeah. She doesn't like the attention that she's getting. She don't. She doesn't like that there's a backlash. Now, what are the chances that those students in those chairs are racist assholes? They're pretty good, actually. But what are the chances that this woman's a racist asshole? She absolutely is. Absolutely is a racist asshole. Between a potential racist asshole and an actual racist asshole, yeah, I'm going to be more afraid of the actual racist asshole. Now, I do film a lot of stuff. I film a lot of crimes committed against me. I also stand up for myself when I have to. Now, you guys, of course, aren't going to give a shit because this woman looks white. We'll take a look at this. come on. This is me in the Dalles, Oregon. The Dalles, Oregon. That's right. Guess how many times a week I get called the N-word? Depends on the week. And some of them I sleep through, so. Now it's up to you. Oh, that's the end of the video. My apologies. People don't listen to disabled homeless men. We don't matter. And the less pretty we are, the less we matter. And we try to spend our money. People, that ain't okay. God damn it. Go back to the fucking beginning. Jesus fucking goddamn Christ. Oh, that'll offend somebody. This guy just shoved her. Nope, he didn't shove her yet. Hold on a second. That's where he shoved her. That's Jamie. That guy runs at her, but when she turns around to face him, he slows down. He just won't leave her the fuck alone. He runs up and socks her in the head. We can't have people hitting people. That ain't okay. This guy walking up, he don't really look white to me. He looks like he's, I'm Sean, well, Sports. Possibly Sean, Italian, Sports. Hispanic, but he's light skinned. That doesn't make it okay to hurt people. If I do a piece of breed on her face, she won't shut the fuck up. That's my sister. You want to get involved in my fucking family? I'm scared for her, and I'm scared for her. No, that's my family, all right? Now that's the thing. This motherfucker once pulled this. It's my family. I don't give a fuck. If you fucking beat on your disabled family like that, you're fucked in the head. This guy was wanting to talk about how he was going to get a job there. This is the third person that he fucking did this to. The other two people were also mentally disabled. One of them was schizophrenic as fuck. Another one was just small and scared. Now you hear there. I used the Papa voice to get him over. And then I try talking as nicely as I can, in as nice a tone I can. When someone's being abused, all women are taught to make it a fucking pissing contest. Especially when it's a man. If it's a man being abused, holy shit, it's on. And it should have never been that way. And we can change it. But there's a lot of people who are a danger to society. Now, what kind of danger are they to society? Are they trying to get innocent people harmed? Or are they trying to bring down the government? We can do a lot of good if we work together. We gotta erase the hate, and that starts with getting rid of segregation. Right now, there's a lot of the woke bullshit that y'all fought for so hard. Well, I fought for it too. I thought it was a great idea, but you know what? It went too far. When I fought for gay rights, I fought for the rights of gay people. I didn't fight for gay people to have the right to harm whoever they wanted, whenever they want, and get away with it by saying, oh, poor me, I'm gay. I don't go running around being mean to whoever I want. I am never mean to anyone because I want to be. I am mean out of necessity. You want to call me a rat? Well, that's fine. You get my friends killed, I'm not going to shut up. You call me whatever names you want. It don't justify your sins. It ain't getting you into heaven. All that heaven bullshit and then Jesus' name. Here's the thing. If you don't keep that to yourself, what you are literally proving is you don't believe in God. If you believed in God, you'd keep it to your fucking self. When you are giving it to God and telling others, give it to God, that is your vanity. That is you passing judgment on them. You have decided that you don't care about them or what they're enduring. Hopefully it'll stop raining here soon, and I'm trying to dig cigarettes out of the floorboard. But hey, we're both still alive, right? Well, what about quality of life? Well, we're gonna have to call her a pretty white girl at this point, right? That's not racist, is it? No, it's condescending as fuck, though. And who is condescending as fuck, too? See, there are lots of people who have been victimized in this country who have real problems. You feel uncomfortable? Yeah, so do I. Now, why do you feel uncomfortable? For me, I have PTSD from massive quantities of abuse. I also try to improve the world around me every day. Now, if that includes pretending to be a racist, I'm willing to. If I have to pretend to be a racist to save a life, yeah, I'll do it. When I was about 4 years old, I asked my... Right? And this is one of the few times that I was not in foster care or the system. The system fucking sucks. Oh yeah, but I can't have gone through that because I'm white. I saw all these black kids around me in them places. And all these Hispanic kids. And all these Asian kids. And depending on where I was at, all these Native kids. Some of those places, it was pretty much whites only. I'd say pretty much because life happens. Sometimes you end up with some white people. Sometimes it's a bunch of black people. It depends on where you're at. When you live in a state that is 98% white or 96% white, and you're complaining that the campus is white dominant in such a hateful way. Hey, you know what? None of those other students asked to be white. I'm against all racism, and if you're going to be a racist, I don't care if you're black or white. I care that you're a racist. I'm not sure if you noticed, but on my channel, I'm racist against every race. I also call out every nationality. I point out that culturally there are good and bad in every part of every culture. And then we got this word toxic. The word toxic, that's a power word now, isn't it? It's the equivalent of calling someone the N-word at this point. When I was 4 years old, I asked my mother what the N-word meant, and she slapped the shit out of me. Never asked that question again. Never said that word again either. No matter how many black kids was slapping me across the face and saying, call me the N-word. I dare you. I dare you. I know you want to. Call me the N-word. Tell you something, I ain't just against black racist assholes. I'm against white racist assholes too. You might want to look up Lincoln High School, Tacoma, Washington, and see what percentage minority that school is. 81%. Matter of fact, we got a telephone here capable of doing something magic and letting us know something about Lincoln High School. Demographics, Lincoln High School, Tacoma, Washington.
According to usnews.com, overview of Lincoln High School. The AP participation rate at Lincoln High School is 66%. The total minority enrollment is 84%, and 55% of students are economically disadvantaged. Lincoln High School is one of 16 high schools in the Tacoma School District.
84%. Just because I'm white don't mean I'm out to get you. By the way, my ancestry is primarily Russian, German, of Hebrew descent. Are you one of them black people who knows absolutely nothing about Germany except for the Holocaust? Because if you are, you're missing out on a lot, including slavery. See, it wasn't just the Jews, that's right. Russians, Germans, and Hebrew. My people are the homeless. My people are the poor. My people have been owned by every government, every color of people in every nation. There are always slaves, always. There are always those wishing to establish dominion over others. Now here's the thing about those youngins that she's angry at and about. Chances are pretty good that they are racist. Chances are pretty good that they put those stickers on their computer specifically to go antagonize people. Chances are pretty good that they did put on a Bass Pro hat because they knew that it would be offensive. Chances are pretty good that if they were trying to intentionally go antagonize people, that they were intentionally dressing for success. Chances are pretty good that they were targeting a student of color. Chances are actually pretty good of that. How do I know? I've experienced shit exactly like that. People who are antagonists. They know that you speak up about police brutality. You're goddamn right. Now, what's the thing with Chick-fil-A? They're anti-LGBT. But aren't you Christian? It's a Christian business. Yes, they're advertising racist redneck blatantly. Absolutely. Is that wrong of them? Absolutely, it's wrong. Absolutely, it is intentionally meant to make the victim uncomfortable, but you need the victim to come forward, and the victim is probably scared in that situation. Look what I do. I blast it all over the internet too. Except I'm not heard. Except to make fun of me. Because my political views are different. Oh, my experiences are different. White girl? I get called white. I get called a girl. I also have to deal with something you'll never have to deal with. When you don't get what you want right when you want it, you get to run around all offended. You're allowed. Instead of talking to them like adults, you throw a tantrum at them right away. Well, that's what I do now. On my channel, I don't give a shit. Don't make fucking excuses for others. Isn't that what I keep hearing? Don't make excuses for these people. And I hear this from people who are making excuses for people. Would I want Kyle Rittenhouse at my college? Fuck no. I also know that there's unsung lives, like Garrett Foster. There is absolutely a massive and huge chance that that youngin' went out and specifically spent his mommy and daddy's money just like you did to go fucking annoy people. Are you really afraid for your safety from Kyle Rittenhouse? Does it look like he's walking around campus with a gun? Do I believe Kyle Rittenhouse should be in prison? Yes, I do. Do I believe he got special treatment by racist cops? Yes, I do. Do I believe that black people are the primary victims of all this? No, I don't. I think what happens to white kids is even worse. Well, black kids are lucky enough to go to the tough institutions with other black kids that are, for the most part, gonna get along. They did. Absolutely everywhere I went, black kids got along with other black kids. And if they weren't getting along, if there was two black kids that weren't getting along, there was one of the other older kids that we were locked up with who would say, hey, we ain't having this. We got to stick together. We're all in here, all of us. You're getting angry because you're in here and you're taking it out on him. Well, guess what? He's in here too. He ain't happy about it. He don't want to be here neither. Common fucking sense when it's needed before it gets violent. There's also when the white boy walks in the door. It's someone's job to go punk the white boy. This is the part about the system that fucking sucks. You're in a room full of just boys, they're all black, and one of them's kind of new to the place. And they want to see a fight. So although when it's two black kids, it's us, we gotta stick together. Us. Well, when the white boy walks through the door, and he seems shy, and he seems quiet, he seems meek, and he seems like he don't know shit. Keep in mind, he just got there, and he's taking in the environment, and he just fucked up a bunch of other black kids in the last place he was at, and that's why they fucking transferred him. You should probably keep your nasty cockbeaters to yourself. And it ain't the biggest kid that they send after you in that situation. They send one kid to test you out, because you're white. And when you fuck him up, while you're fucking him up, you get to hear the other black kids, you best not let that white boy punk you. You better not let that white boy win. If that white boy wins, I'm taking away your black card. Usually that was an empty threat. But if you let the white boy punk you, oh yeah, they take in your black card. You don't get to sit with the black kids. I get invited to sit at that fucking seat. They might even give me your motherfucking lunch, motherfucker. They wanted to see a fight. They ain't gonna pull your black card if the white boy that you just got your ass kicked is a seasoned veteran of getting his ass beat by black kids. You figure out how it works. You can't let people bitch you. It ain't the same out here, because there's women and children out here. And there we were all children, all of us. We all got victimized by the staff. Black, white, didn't fucking matter. Nobody fucking cared about you. Your parents wouldn't come to see you, they was in prison. Was my dad gonna be allowed to leave the penitentiary and come and see me? No, he was not. Were they gonna let my mom out of the halfway house to come see us? No, they were not. Not until she could be sober. When she's coming back to the halfway house fucked up, yeah, they're not gonna let you stay with your mom. You're stuck where you're stuck. Let me tell you about my experience in Lincoln High School, Tacoma, Washington. There was a kid named Cash Edwards who used to fuck with me. His real name was Sylvester. And he was a state champion wrestler. There was another state champion wrestler, a little bigger than Cash. His name was Jess Workman. JESSWORKMAN. You know why I didn't get my ass beat every day by Sylvester Edwards or any of the people that thought he was the coolest guy on the planet? Because of Jess Workman. Jess Workman was super nice and he had a good reputation. He was also big and he'd twist you up into a pretzel. No problem. But then once you've been in there a while, you're still white and people still fuck with you because you're white. Always some new kid that's going to come in because you're white. Or always somebody who's going to be offended and try to... Well, he got his ass kicked by you. And 2 other black kids got their ass kicked by you. One of them's your friend already. He got his ass kicked, but he's cool with you. You hang out, you talk shit. He makes fun of you for sucking at basketball. When you go out on the yard, you go out on the yard with him. And going out on the yard as a juvenile is a lot different than going out on the yard as an adult. Now, most of the time, you ain't fighting one-on-one. That's just when they want to test the white boy the first day. That don't mean nothing. You got a few more ass whoopings to take before they get sick of getting their ass whooped. Or enough of them have whooped your ass that you've established a pecking order. Once you've established a pecking order, it's usually pretty alright. You know who you can fuck with and you know who you can't. And the people that you can't fuck with, you already know you can't fuck with them, and they're aware that you can't fuck with them either. So they're cool with you. Fight's over, we're cool. But it's that one kid that just can't handle the fact that he got his ass whooped and he's embarrassed. He's embarrassed. He's embarrassed. My entire fucking life, this is the bullshit I gotta worry about. I don't get embarrassed, so just slandering my name is not a problem. I don't give a shit, dude. But when it leads to me being harmed, when it leads to my friends and family having their lives threatened, oh yeah, you goddamn right I give a shit. Not everybody who beat on me was black. Not every place that I was at that was primarily minorities was black minorities. I know culturally, if I go into a place where there's a bunch of Mexicans, they're probably not going to try fighting one-on-one the first day. But regardless, you let them win and tell them how sorry you are for being white. Even if they do one-on-one you, halfway through the fight, somebody going to jump in. Tap out. If they're trying to kill you, Well, we're going to have to refer to a movie called Firefly. Captain Mallory, direct quote. Someone tries to kill you, you try and kill them right back. Now, this isn't something that you have to tell somebody when someone's trying to kill them. No, it occurs to you that this motherfucker is not going to stop swinging until you're dead. He's not going to stop hitting you with whatever he's hitting you with until it crushes your skull, and you should know that by the third or fourth time that he's done it. Yeah, at that point, you almost have to consider yourself lucky for moving out of the way just in the nick of time for that chair leg come down on your head again. Fuck, that shit hurts. But yeah, I'm white, so I must deserve it. I must have asked for it. Genetically, I am incapable, obviously, of being the target of a crime by black people. Obviously, that could never happen because my genetics have some magical property. No, they fucking don't. White boy in the system gets fucked. That's how it is. Ain't nobody gonna listen to you. Now they're gonna have a few more fights, and it's always gonna be the same thing. When you're fighting with black kids, you're going to have to deal 9 times out of 10 as a white person with the call me the N-word. I dare you. I know you want to. I know you want to. Come on, cracker. Cracker. You like how I say that in my nerdy white voice? Yes, sir. I can barely function as a human being. Matter of fact, I don't function as a human being. I am entirely dependent on others now because of growing up in environments like that. I got to stay in 2 different types of institutions. Some of them are male only. You know, juvenile hall type of places. Locked doors. Guards with actual guns. And some of the places are where you stereotypically go as a white kid. White kids go to the mental hospital. Well, what does that mean? It means you're discredited for the rest of your life. Black kids get lucky as fuck on that count. Most of the time when you go to juvie, you get a record for being violent, or you don't. When you go to a mental hospital, they're going to diagnose you with something, even if they have to medicate you to do it. Oh, we have to diagnose that something is wrong. Well, sometimes what's wrong with that child is they're being abused. Yeah, I got PTSD, but what for? You can't have PTSD. That's made up. Black kids don't get PTSD. Like hell they don't. You get punked by a white boy and get your black card taken away. Yeah, that shit'll give you PTSD. Now you get to hear me saying all of this stuff that I say is so wrong when other people say it. So why do I say it? To show the difference in how we're treated. It's wrong for me, but it's right for them. Do you ever think about the white lives lost? This goes for you fucking rednecks too. The white lives lost to get basic human rights for slaves. Here's what I believe. I believe that we should hold an election just like any other election. And I think we should vote for or against slavery. And those who vote for slavery should be the slaves for those who voted against slavery. Because people who are against slavery will be kind masters. And people who are for slavery won't. Also, in being a slave and becoming a slave just because you voted yes on slavery, you will know instantly through karma you were pro-slavery, now you're a slave. Is that not fair? It's better than what we have now. People who are for slavery owning people who are against slavery. Even our governments are set up that way when it comes to poverty. How are we supposed to get unhomeless when you take everything from us? Meanwhile, the white kids have a lot harder time getting off the streets. Because they got the mentally ill tag looming over their head. What was easier growing up? Being locked up with a bunch of black kids or being locked up in a mental institution? A mental institution. If you rape a kid as a staff member in juvie, there's a pretty good chance that you get told on. Nobody will listen, but there's a chance you get told on. Now, most of those son of a bitches in a juvie situation realize they're not going to get away with doing it more than once. So they try to get transferred to a different facility. Yeah, you think you want to be a guard. And then you run into a massive 6-foot 14-year-old like Seneca Blight. I might have gotten his name wrong. I'm pretty sure I meant to say Tim. Seneca Blight was somewhere else. I'm certain of it. I know the name. I'm trying to place who Seneca Blight actually is at the moment. Well, it's neither here nor there, is it? So, what are the chances that these white kids were intentionally doing this in an antagonistic fashion? It's pretty fucking good. You gotta get the words of the victim, though. Here's the thing, victims not coming forward is the number one reason for these rednecks to get away with these crimes, is that you don't have the support of the victim. You need to be able to entice the victim to come forward, right? Coerce the victim to come forward, right? Well, no, that's illegal. If those boys coerce the victim into not coming forward, that's not illegal. Unless she comes forward about that, and she'll need your support about it. Will you offer to help her turn it into the actual police? Will you ask for her story so that you know what the fuck started it? There's a chance those white boys are just being antagonistic assholes. Yeah, but why? Is it because they were using the N-word and she told him she found it offensive? So they used it over and over and over and over again? Well, at that point, yes, very much so. They're antagonistic fucking racists, and she does need to get a protection order against them because it is ongoing. Just like I needed help doing that, she will need help doing that. You notice I blame everybody. A bit at a time. I'll blame each individual group if I got to. We can tear each and every one of them down so you know that they ain't perfect. America likes its victims to be perfect. This woke generation bullshit, man, just learn to speak the English language. You want to make up words so it's magically okay to hurt people? I ain't memorized every one of your goddamn acronyms. I'm going to tell you what, though. I'm going to have to get out there in the rain, get myself all roasty toasty like a Thanksgiving turkey, right? It's going to be warm out there in the rain holding my sign. My back's fucked. My legs are fucked. My head's fucked. And I don't want to be here no more. But I don't matter. As a white victim, I don't matter. As a male victim, I don't matter. Now them youngins sitting there and staring at that person. Now it's one thing if they came in and sat down and set up all their stuff and was minding all their goddamn business. Had it already set up there and it was pointed that direction anyway. Yeah, they're trying to fucking be antagonistic. Of course that stuff is antagonistic. Of course they picked that stuff specifically because of the connotation to it. Chick-fil-A is known for being anti-LGBT. How about the Police Lives Matters? That's made intentionally to antagonize BLM. But BLM is also a racist hate group. They do not decry any of the crimes committed by black people against whites as being wrong. Now let's take a look at the Hebrew ancestry I have. They were slaves. How about the Russian ancestors I had? That's right, they were slaves too. Guess what? The Jews also enslaved people. In the Bible, there are instructions on how to treat your slave. Oh, by the way, slavery in the South, they didn't follow that. In Roman times, here's something you might not know. Now, this wasn't the same during the Empire, which is the scary part, and the weak part. How did the Romans treat their slaves during the Republic era? This is after the age of kings and before the age of emperors. The first emperor being Octavian, after defeating one of Julius Caesar's most productive generals, Mark Antony. And just so you all know, Cleopatra wasn't just a white girl. She was a blonde-haired white girl. Her whole lineage going all the way back. She was the first Ptolemy. These are the descendants of one of Alexander the Great's greatest generals. He didn't even have to fight a war to take over Egypt. He showed up. They were in such a fucked up situation. Like, whoa, we're all yours, bud. He was revered as a god. Here's something you might not know about the Greeks. The Greeks, brown hair, brown eyes, and brown skin. I'm going to say that again. Brown hair, brown eyes, and brown skin. Now, they were lighter skinned, of course, than Africans. They were darker skinned than the Vikings. For the Vikings, traveling down south and running into somebody who is Greek or Italian, especially Southern Italian. Well, yeah. You might as well be looking at somebody who's from India. They see each other as far different than they actually are. Guess what? Your blood is still red. You want to blame me for my ancestry or for my skin color? Is it my skin color that harmed people many years ago? My skin color? Really? My skin color didn't exist when slavery legal. Oh, wait. But I also speak out about the fact that it's still legal, don't I? I still speak out for black rights and black causes because I see it with my own two eyes. But I also see that the people out here who are the most victimized are the ones that you are ignoring the most. The ones on the streets. Get off your fucking high horse. Come down here with us. See what the world you live in is really like. And instead of complaining about the things that you're complaining about, you help to work together with people who are fighting a good fight. And in this racist bullshit, it's a good fight to fight. If you're going to lose your life, or I'm going to lose mine, it's a good thing to lose our lives over. Well worth my life for certain. I'm one of the few people that grew up in the environments that I did as a white child who didn't end up all tattooed up with swastikas and shamrocks. Statistically, how I grew up, I shouldn't exist. With as fucked up as the black kids were that I grew up with, I should hate all black people. I should. You guys hear me say that a lot, don't you? And you pretend that when I say I should, that believes I think I should. You're the ones who are always talking about doing violent shit. Telling me I should. When I say I should, I'm not saying things that I have any interest in doing. I'm saying the things that people are suggesting that I do when I go to them for help. Or things that they claim that they would do if somebody did that to them. Including if I was to do it. A lot of them do volunteer that. Not as many as you might think. If you care about equal rights, then you need to fight for the homeless. On my channel, you can hear many people calling me the N-word. Calling me a lot of anti-Semitic stuff, too. Any excuse to bully. And I've saved a lot of evidence, but you know what? I ain't no pampered white girl who got to go to college. I am not in physical shape enough to take care of myself, but I am out here on the streets. And while I am out here on the streets, I will fight for the rights of those on the streets. While on the streets. But every time that I've gone into any sort of housing, I have never once stopped speaking up for those on the streets. If you care about equality, you'll fight for the homeless. If not, you're a bigot and you need to shut the fuck up and go to the back of the bus with the rest of us who don't fucking matter. Now, how many times have I been told I need to go to the back of the bus? Well, when we're talking about literally, we're talking about dozens. That is one of those condescending things that you grow up with, growing up in the system with a bunch of black kids. When they want to treat you with complete and total disrespect, it's either boy or you need to get to the back of the bus or both. How many times have I heard a black man say to another black man, or sorry, a black youth say to another black youth as well, not just the men, say, boy, you need to go to the back of the bus. And you know what? When you're locked up with black kids, they're going to say the same goddamn thing to you. They're going to call you boy. Even if you're a girl. No. Because you know what? They don't put boys and girls together in those places. No, that is segregated. Some of them boys are in there for killing their grandparents. Some of them boys are in there for drive-bys. Some of them boys in there for worse. And I'm not saying boys in a disrespectful way there. We were all boys. We weren't men. We were children in a fucked up system. And we got abused like a motherfucker. You learn to keep your mouth shut. You hide everything from the guards and you never say a thing to anybody. Mind your business and pay your dues. If you believe you have your rights, go ahead and stand up for them. Go ahead and stand up for your rights. You get your fucking ass kicked. You get your ass kicked by the guards and the other kids you're locked up with. They don't want to hear it. Every time there's a fight, everybody goes on lockdown. Nobody likes sitting there on lockdown just because of your principle. What they give a fuck about is that was their lunch on the table when you got into a fight. What they care about is that that was their rec time when you got into a fight. What they care about is that it was your turn with the library book cart when you got into that fight. And in some of the harder places, for some of these youth, they were pissed off that their 2 hours out was cut off by a fight. Even if you're the one beaten up, even if you're not looking for a fight, and it's one of them kids that's like, call me the N-word, I dare you, I dare you, I fucking dare you. Then it's, everyone return to your pods, and we do. Except you gotta back up into your pod. Because if you turn around and walk to your pod, that's when he's gonna fucking clobber you. Oh. That's when he's gonna do what that guy did to Jamie. And cold cock you in the back of the head. Well, you ain't looking. You know, in most of the places that I was, when I was assaulted, people didn't grab the person who was assaulting me, they grabbed me first. That's because I was a lot more violent and a lot more mean. A lot more violent and a lot more mean. They also knew that I didn't start none of those fights. That I never once threw the first swing. And that if somebody kept on trying to punk me, I wasn't gonna fight them. I wasn't interested in it. You steal my lunch, I'm gonna make a big fucking scene. You're gonna give me my lunch back. And that's when it gets to the point where it has to be a fight. Don't touch my fucking lunch tray, motherfucker. I'm not your bitch. The color of my skin doesn't make it okay to victimize me. It doesn't make it okay to pretend like I am a monster because I'm white. It doesn't make it okay to play victim after the fact. Since my Hebrew ancestors were owned by black Africans, does that mean that every black African owes me? What about their descendants, like those in the United States? Do they owe me too? What about the black people in the United States that ain't from Africa? What about the ones who are Aborigines? Are they to be held responsible too, just because they're black? There's a lot of people in India who are very, very, very dark. Does that mean that of course, they're to blame because they're black? Are all black people responsible because Egyptian black people owned supposed white people? No, the Hebrew at that point would not have been white. It was the Middle East. No, they didn't. They weren't a bunch of blonde-haired, blue-eyed people. The Schwarz. Black hair, black eyes, black skin. My last name means black hair, black eyes, black skin. The Jews gave their kids religious names. Light of God, gift from God. I believe my name, Sean David Schwartz, if I didn't translate it incorrectly, means light of God, gift from God, black. Sean David Schwartz. I've had a lot of friends that love to joke with me about the fact that we got different color skin. With each other. Some of them jokes that were told to me about white people, like, how do you keep a white man broke? Hide his welfare check under his work boots. And then there's the, oh, well, he's a white man. He can say that. Okay. He's allowed to make fun of his own people, but which ones are my own people? Are white people my people? No, the homeless are my people. They're just not on each other's side. I already know, regardless of the color of the skin of somebody who's in a house. They're in a house and they're far removed. Far removed from what we have to do in order to get anything accomplished. I know that a woman going to college is already more pampered than me. I also know that because she's a woman, she has some unique challenges, yes. But she's going to learn through her entire life that it's okay for women to abuse men. Her entire life. That making accusations is good enough. And she is young enough that she is of a generation that has known this since they were born. Sure, they didn't have the understanding, but they had the parents with the understanding who raised them with the understanding that all they have to do if they don't get what they want is make a false accusation. And then they prey on the fact that for years and years and years, we pretended that women wouldn't make false accusations. Well, have you ever told a woman no? That isn't the only accusation a woman will make. There's a billion and one of them. There's a lot of things that I've said recently that y'all don't like. You don't like that I say it back. You don't like that I spit equality. You want to say kill all men. Well, that's horrible. Now, if I ran around saying kill all women, things would not go well. Meanwhile, I don't want anybody to be killed. And I'm certainly not going to do it myself. That's not to say that there won't be some scenario in which somebody that I know and care about doesn't have their life at risk. And I might not have to make a split-second decision there of what do I have to give up to save a person. Now let's get to the woman on the front of this. Is she a danger to us? Yes, she is. Are those white kids a danger to us? Well, they went there with the intention of being antagonistic assholes. That does denote that they're mean-hearted people who probably grew up in the Midwest or in a rural area. That also means that they are the most likely to have guns. It also means that they're the most likely victims of incest. Yep, that's right. Those two boys are 70% more likely to be sexually molested by their mother or their father. 70% more likely than anywhere else. 70% more likely than in the city. And when they're abused, they are way more likely to take their own lives. Because out in the boonies, in small towns, all anybody cares about is everybody else's business. That's because there ain't much to do in a small town. Hell, Chapel, Nebraska didn't even have a movie theater. right? Well, guess what? There's only 500 people in town. And Nebraska's biggest export is Nebraskans. Got ingrown hair here. It's pretty fucking big. Problem is, I don't have the hand strength to hold on to it. Did I get it? No, pulled out some other hairs. Oh well, it don't matter, does it? Eventually it'll come to a head and I'll just pop it. Fuck it. Hurts a bit. We're talking about important shit, ain't we? We're talking about locking this woman up for everyone's safety. Well, the guy who actually suggested that was being sarcastic. He was just wanting to make the point that women want to have all men locked up for all eternity, and why? What's the chances that these youngins were just protesting, being badgered by somebody who is entitled because they're black? Oh, your people own my people, so you owe me. Boycott Chick-fil-A. Those boys with what they put on there, yeah, they tried to paint themselves as the biggest conservative assholes that they could. What they did there, yeah, what are the chances they did that intentionally to be antagonistic? They're pretty fucking good. Now, how many assaults has this young woman had to endure through any of this? How many assaults have I had to endure? How many false accusations has she had to endure? And how many people hurt her over them? So should I pretend she did something wrong to me? Should I pretend that I hate her? I suppose I could. I'm just pretty well disgusted by the whole argument. And here's why. Is it wrong for one person to rape another person? Or is it just wrong if it's a white person who commits the rape? Is it just wrong if it's a black person who is the victim? Is it just wrong when a male is the perpetrator? Is it just wrong when a female is the victim? I'm gonna drive over and get myself a banana because I'm getting cold. It's raining. And I'm hungry. I have bread. I'm lucky on that count. I live in my car. Well, y'all tell me I'm lucky I don't have to make rent. You know what? That's not luck. That doesn't save me money. That doesn't improve my health. That makes it so I have no rights. But thank you for being condescending about it. Thank you, those of you who wanted to make it a gender issue. Those of you who wanted to make it a race issue. Those of you who wanted to make it about looks. And I speak up about the superficiality of you motherfuckers. And I do it to this day. Shame on you.